Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today, I'm taking you on a whirlwind adventure through Kerman, a truly ancient city nestled in the southeast of Iran. You know my channel is all about food and travel, and Kerman delivers big time on both. It's one of Iran's oldest cities, steeped in history, with a unique culture, and importantly, some seriously famous food. So, get ready, because we're going to explore Kerman from sunrise to sunset, tasting everything from breakfast delights to traditional dinners. We'll wander through bustling local bazaars, meet some friendly locals, check out incredible sights, and really get a feel for the heart of this historic place. I want to show you what the people are like and how welcoming they can be. Let's dive in. First stop, breakfast. I heard about a popular spot near Kerman's main Azadi Square called Omelette Cafe, or Cafe Omelette as they say here. What really caught my attention is that it's run by experienced women, mostly around their 50s, the owner and the chefs. It's not something you see everywhere, and I was intrigued. I headed over there bright and early. On the way, passing through Azadi Square, you could already feel the city waking up, with people heading to work. Iranians, I've found, are generally quite cheerful and open. Even the taxi drivers I bumped into were curious, asking where I was from. When I said Pakistan, they showered compliments, saying Pakistani people, and especially the girls, are beautiful.
Pakistan very love.
Pakistania sesho babus. Sesho babus.
Any میگه ماچ برات yeah
کاز خواهی ما بگویی علی فهمین
دوست دارم.
Really open-minded folks. The cafe itself is tucked away in a nearby street, reminding me a bit of Europe, with cars parked neatly along the narrow lanes. Inside Cafe Omelette, it's cozy, just a few tables, but clearly a local favorite. The aroma from the open kitchen was fantastic. I decided to try a variety, ordering 3 different omelets, one with mushrooms, tomatoes, and eggs, another with pre-cooked beef, and a third with a type of processed sausage. They kindly let me peek into the kitchen. It was fascinating to watch these skilled women work. They use a special ingredient, oil rendered from sheep's tail fat. They told me the beef is slow cooked for hours in this flavorful fat, then shredded and fried up with eggs when ordered. The mushroom omelet had fresh mushrooms, tomatoes, and black pepper. The sausage one involved slicing the sausage and frying it with eggs and spices. The whole atmosphere was buzzing.
برای ایشون هم رضا شما آماده است. زنگواره چی دارید؟
Okay, and was it? Thank you. Alone.
My order arrived, looking vibrant. The mushroom omelet was red from the tomatoes, alongside the meat and sausage versions. It came with classic Iranian flatbread, fresh from the tandoor, and a side of fresh green leaves, like a simple salad. They also have this great self-serve tea station, common in Iran, with a large hot water urn. You just add tea concentrate to your liking. Time to taste. I started with the beef omelette. Being from Pakistan, I like my spice, and Iranian food is generally milder. It was delicious, rich from that special fat, but I added a pinch of salt and some hot sauce they had, and wow, perfection! The sausage omelette was next, also amazing with a bit of spice. Finally, the tomato and mushroom omelette, light, fresh, and incredibly tasty. Honestly, everything exceeded my expectations. And check this out, they serve tea with saffron sugar swizzle sticks. You dip it in your tea to sweeten it just right. What blew me away though was the hospitality. When I went to pay, they told me one of the dishes was complimentary because I was their guest. That's Iranian generosity for you. A fantastic start to the day.
One of your foods, you are my guest. You can have
thank
food,
you.
one of them, you are my guest.
Thank you so much.
Take 200,000 tomatoes.
Okay.
You have Iranian cards.
Yes, I got it from a bank. I'm a tourist.
Oh, yes,
So
it's the tourist one?
Yeah.
Next up, I headed towards one of Kerman's most famous landmarks, the Bazaar-e-Vakil. This isn't just any market, it's incredibly old, stretching for ages, and part of the larger Ganjali Khan complex, a historical treasure from the Safavid era. It's a pedestrian-only zone, full of narrow, winding alleys. Stepping inside feels like stepping back in time. The air buzzes with activity. You see incredible antique shops, stalls gleaming with copperware. Kerman is actually a major center for copper mining in Iran, so these handcrafted pots and pans are authentic, though quite pricey. There's also a lot of gem work here. You see intricate stones set into rings everywhere. Of course, there are shops selling everything else too. Colorful bags, many imported, clothes, t-shirts, trousers, sunglasses displayed beautifully, aromatic spices piled high, cumin, turmeric, dried herbs, alongside dates and dried fruits. Iran is famous for its dates, and you find the best quality here. What's really cool about walking through Bazaar-e-Vakil is that you're surrounded by history. The arched ceilings, the domes, the old brickwork. It's living heritage. You'll spot entrances to historical buildings tucked away, like old bathhouses, hammams, or caravanserai courtyards, though some might be under renovation. Keep an eye out for the traditional wind catchers or bad gears atop some buildings. These are classic Persian architectural features designed for natural ventilation. The crowd is a mix, lots of women shopping, some wearing the chador, others not. There's a comfortable diversity here. It's a long walk, easily a couple of kilometers, so thankfully there are refreshment stalls dotted around selling juices, sherbets, and local snacks like donuts if you need a break. Eventually, I emerged from one of the bazaar's gates back onto a main road, where the market continues outdoors with vibrant displays of fresh vegetables and fruits, plump strawberries, coconuts, gleaming eggplants, broccoli, everything imaginable, all beautifully arranged. spotted a beautiful, very old mosque. I popped inside for a quick look. It was serene and stunning, a peaceful historical sanctuary, though quiet due to the strong midday sun. After all that walking, I definitely worked up an appetite for lunch. Time for another iconic Kerman experience, Kale Pacheh. Now this is a dish often eaten for breakfast, but I decided to try it for lunch. It translates to head and trotter, usually from sheep or goat. It might sound adventurous, but it's a beloved dish in Iran and Pakistan. I found a highly rated Kale Pacheh shop nearby that specializes in it. The shop had a big tray displaying the goods, cooked heads, trotters, tongues, brains. It's quite affordable, maybe just $2 or $3 for a plate with bread. I ordered a small plate to try. They expertly prepared it, taking tender meat from the head, adding a trotter, and some rich broth, served with extra gravy on the side. It comes with fresh flatbread for scooping. Okay, moment of truth. I made a bite, and it was surprisingly tasty, very rich, meaty, and flavorful. It's definitely a unique taste, something you grow up with perhaps, but I can see why it's so popular here. It's hearty and satisfying. I managed to finish the whole plate. Definitely a must-try if you're feeling adventurous and want a real taste of local food culture. After that savory meal, I needed something sweet. I popped into a local sweet shop. Iran has amazing sweets, often different from what we have back home. I used Google Translate to ask for a Kerman specialty. They recommended Kolompeh, a lovely little pastry. It looks like a biscuit, often intricately stamped, but inside it has a delicious date filling. It's not overly sweet or oily like some sweets. It feels quite wholesome and dry, with the natural sweetness coming from the dates. It was fantastic. And again, that incredible Iranian hospitality, they insisted I have the first piece as a gift. People here are just genuinely kind.
Nah, thank you. Mamnoon.
After a short rest back at the hotel, it was time for some evening exploration. I decided to visit the Fathabad Garden, a famous historical site just outside the city. It's a bit of a drive, so I booked a taxi. Taxis here are surprisingly cheap, maybe just a couple of US dollars for the trip. Iran in general is quite affordable for travelers, partly because fuel costs are low. Fathabad Garden requires an entrance ticket, about $3.50. It features a stunning historical mansion, maybe call it a small palace or castle, surrounded by beautiful gardens. It dates back to the Qajar dynasty, apparently built as a residence for a governor. At night, the palace is beautifully illuminated. Walking in, it felt grand yet peaceful. There weren't huge crowds, just a few people taking photos. Inside the palace, rooms on the ground floor were laid with traditional Persian carpets. You see this a lot in Iran. People often prefer sitting and even sleeping on carpets rather than using much furniture. The building itself is gorgeous, with intricate details and colorful stained glass above the doors, another hallmark of Iranian design. Although it's centuries old, it has been carefully restored. There were some old photos showing its history. It's a two-story building, and wandering through it felt quite magical. Inside, the gardens were lovely too, a calm oasis. I even had a nice brief chat with a local woman there who, despite the language barrier, was super friendly and offered tips for visiting Iran.
It's very good.
Cool.
This place very so cold and very nice.
Oh,
If
okay.
you like that kind of places, you can go there.
Okay, okay.
You can go to I forget a lot of English.
It's okay. It happens sometimes
Yeah.
when you don't have,
20 years ago, I
Yeah.
teach.
Yeah,
I teach
okay.
English 20
You
years
you were
ago.
teaching English.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
Very nice.
I changed my work, and
Ah,
for
yes, yes.
this matter, I forget a lot of
Yes,
things.
you are right.
But the name of this jungle is very nice.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it near to the city, Kerman?
Uh, you should take a car for that place.
Okay.
Back in the city center near my hotel, it was time for dinner. I found a well-regarded restaurant called Mac's Restaurant, which served both fast food and traditional dishes. I was definitely here for the traditional. I wanted to try two specific Kerman specialties, Ghormeh and Kashk-e Bademjan. Ghormeh is a rich stew made with goat meat, Kashk, a type of fermented dairy product, kind of like sour yogurt or whey, chickpeas or lentils and spices, often cooked in that flavorful sheep fat oil. Kashk-e Bademjan is another classic, primarily made with eggplant, Bademjan, mashed and mixed with kashk, often topped with fried onions, mint, and sometimes walnuts. While waiting, I met a couple of friendly local kids in the restaurant who were curious about my YouTube channel and even showed off some impressive gymnastic flips. Again, the food wasn't expensive, maybe around $2 per dish. The food arrived, both dishes looking quite similar, like thick dips or stews. They came with fresh bread, those typical green herbs, and a raw onion wedge, common accompaniments here. I first tried the Ghormeh. It had visible meat pieces and a tangy flavor from the kashk. It was decent, definitely unique, cooked in that rich fat. It's a taste I wasn't familiar with, so maybe it's an acquired taste if you haven't grown up with it. Next, the Kashk-e Bademjan. This one also had that tangy kashk flavor dominating the eggplant base. Both are clearly very popular local dishes, eaten enthusiastically here. For me, honestly, they weren't my absolute favorite dishes of the trip, perhaps a bit too different from the flavors I'm used to, but trying them was essential to experiencing authentic Kerman cuisine. Before calling it a night, I spotted one last interesting place, a dedicated fries shop called Seeb Meeb. Seeb Zamini means potato in Persian, so it's basically potato place. What's cool is they have rows upon rows of different sauces and dispensers on the wall. You get your fries hot and crispy, and then you can load them up with any combination of sauces you want. I got a small portion and tried a couple of their sauces. The fries were great, and the sauces added a really yummy kick. It was a fun, modern contrast to the traditional food I'd been eating. So, that was my packed 24 hours exploring the amazing city of Kerman. From unique breakfast omelets and historic bazaar walks to adventurous traditional lunches, beautiful gardens, and flavorful dinners, topped off with some awesome fries. We saw incredible sights, tasted distinct local flavors, and experienced the warmth and hospitality of the Iranian people firsthand. I really hope you enjoyed coming along on this journey. Let me know in the comments what you thought. Did anything surprise you? Are there other places in Iran or specific dishes you'd like me to check out next? Your suggestions help me plan future trips. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.